fingers, crossing the fingers that we're going live just at 8 o'clock. Yay. Good stuff. I don't even know why. Okay, you know what? I don't need these until later. But hey, I'm hoping this worked on your end. Yesterday we had some technical difficulties, and I needed to do the live from my phone, which isn't a bad thing. Which is not a bad thing. I'll use whatever technology I have. I'm scrappy like that. I am ingenious like that. Cheryl, good morning. Yay. Yay. Thank you for being here. And also thank you for popping up in the comments so I know that what I'm doing right here is working. So happy Friday to you. Um, I'm just getting myself kind of waking up, having my cup of tea, as it were. And how are you doing this morning, my dear? Since you got me all for yourself, what can we help with you with? Huh? I don't mean to put you on the spot. I do not need to put you on the spot. But here, I'll share something fun with you. There we go. We got Becky coming in. I just got a notification that something happened on one of my accounts, and it was a good thing. I'll have to see what it is later. Okay. I'm gonna turn off my phone and I'm going to focus on you guys. So, Cheryl and Becky, I love it. Here's a fun thing. You've got me here. What's going to help either of you today the most right here? Not the most, but what's going to help? What is something that's bugging you, declutter wise or otherwise? Um, oh, thank you, Cheryl. You said I love your content. You are so inspiring. Thank you. What have I inspired you to do? Again, I don't want to put anybody, I can talk to myself for an hour straight. Do not worry. But I just figured this is almost like a little small, little small section before a lot of people show up. So I just offer to you, the people who show up the first. Here's a phrase in my house for years: first out, best dressed, implying that nobody, that there was, the good clothes, there was a finite amount of good clothes. So if you're the first one in, you get the best seat. You get me, for example, helping you with your stuff, helping you get more organized. Awesome. I'm glad to help you with that. I think organization is a really cool thing because it really makes it easier for you to know what you have and to use what you have. But really, in my opinion, the predecessor to getting organized, organizing and sorting is part of decluttering. But then after you've decluttered, after you've kind of extracted all the stuff you don't want, it's remaining organized with what you have so that you don't necessarily keep unknowingly keep things you don't want, you know? Okay. Now I love this. Garrett is saying, speaking of the word inspiring, maybe that's the word of the day. Scream real loud. um, Good morning. Good morning, Melissa. So Garrett is offering, I've been waiting for you to come on so I can get inspired to just clean my kitchen. I love the word just. Do I have it? No. I have one of my things that was, I literally had not an argument, but there was a discussion when I was pitching a book years ago, whether I should include the word just. And they were like, oh, take it out. It's a word that just doesn't add anything. And I offer that it adds some levity. Just do it. Just do it. So, Garrett, what kind of inspiration do you need? Where are you dragging in the kitchen cleaning or organizing? Okay. Because a lot of what we do, we don't mind doing. It's easy, so we kind of do it. And you don't need to love any of it. I say have fun with it and minimize the drama when you don't necessarily have fun with it. Where in your kitchen are you the most ugh about it? Because that's where coaching really helps. You do stuff well, you do stuff that you do well. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Ooh, that's hard early in the morning. So I ask you, where in the kitchen are you most stuck? I know myself, for example, having decluttered, there are two catch-all places that I often need to just be mindful of my clutter. One is the cabinet where I keep our Tupperware, for example. Okay. The other place in the kitchen that I tend to collect clutter is there's this particular cupboard with a top shelf that I need to get on a sit stand on a chair to get. That tends to accumulate things because they both are hard to reach. Hey, I love this. We just got an influx of people. So think about even just the small area where you're the most stuck, and I can help you with that. But also, please start with the easy stuff. The easy stuff in the kitchen is typically, usually, cleaning a surface. And when you clean off a surface, it makes dealing with your stored kitchen clutter even easier. So, everybody always, it really helps to get started with something that's so comically easy. So start with the easy stuff, but I can help you since we're here talk through the stuff that ain't so easy. Okay. Happy Friday, Shannon, and happy Friday, Erin. Nice to see you. So, Mod Pugs, Mod Pugs, Kara. Happy Friday. I'm giving stuff away on Buy Nothing today. Yes, I want to talk about that today. No corporate spending, and I posted 10 videos on YouTube. 3 had music that dinged my account, so only 7 videos show. No views on most. You know what, hun? First of all, high five. High five to Erin, who is Mod Pugs, because she said yesterday on our YouTube live that she was going to upload 10 videos from the videos she downloaded from TikTok to YouTube here. I promised to do the same, and I did. I will be honest with you. I said it, I wrote it down, but I kind of forgot it. And I said, "Oh crap!" But I kind of made this commitment to Kara and to other people that I would do this. So I did, and then I let Kara know that I had done it. Now, Kara, let me help you with this. First of all, no views on most of your videos. You didn't get the accumulation of views that you did overnight on TikTok. It was organic and it was a little bit at a time. So planting your videos here in the soil of YouTube at least gives them a place to land in case the garden of TikTok goes dark, that everything gets burned to the ground. You have a safe space for those videos. Now, I learned the hard way back in the day about putting music in the background can sometimes ding things. It's going to be pick and choose, but at least you did some of it, you know? So, yay. Good stuff. Good stuff. So, Garrett is saying having camaraderie while I do mundane tasks is helpful. Yes, it distracts you from the mundanity of it. So, I love that. So, I'm glad that is helping. Um, okay. Becky Ridgway says she set too many. Notice that as a unit of measure that doesn't make you feel good. Too many to-do items and paperwork at the end of the kitchen table. Becky, here's a fun thing. Could you do this? Could you do this? Could you go to that pile of too many and pick out 5, one for each finger on your hand? Pick out 5 things and make a new to-do pile that's smaller. Now, I admit I get overwhelmed with too much, and so I chunk it down. And that's exactly what we're doing. If your pile is too big, make it smaller. Make another smaller pile and start with that. That also makes the original pile smaller too, which is kind of cool. Okay. So, okay, Erin is stuck. She is stuck on packing and unpacking. Town to town, up and down the dial, whatever. Okay, how about this, Erin? Maybe you take you experiment like like Garrett with the camaraderie while you do a mundane task. But I'm curious, and you can answer this if you don't want. You can answer this if you don't want. Pardon me. You can answer this in the comments or not. It's up to you. But I would get curious why you are. What is the thought that is stopping you from unzipping your suitcase to unpack? I assume it's a suitcase you're unpacking. And I have a lot of experience with those things. I like to unpack as soon as possible because I imagine my stinky clothes in there stinking up the inside of my suitcase, and I don't want my suitcase to be stinky. But so everybody learn from this is that if you're stuck on something, you probably have a thought in your head that's causing you to go, "Ugh, I don't want to do that. This is mundane. I don't want to do this. Oh, there are too many. I don't want to do this. Oh, my suitcase, fill in the blank. I don't want to do this." Okay. So let me think. There was something I was thinking of. Oh, I know what it was. I want to talk about this today. First of all, um, Kara, real quick, you did it at midnight, but you did it. It doesn't matter what time you did it. You totally forgot too. Yeah, you know what? You did it. The views will come or they won't. Either way, you'll be okay. Now, sometimes, and I'll offer this from the creative perspective, having somebody give their thumbs up and see your video is something good. However, congratulate yourself self on the creative process of creating it and putting it out there for the world to find. I still get I am getting likes and followers on TikTok from videos that I made months, if not years ago. And I have not shown up on TikTok in over a month. So just because you are doing it doesn't mean immediately it's going to bloom. But as you said, either way, you'll be okay. The reason I suggest making sure that your things are somewhere else, first of all, it's great that you have everything downloaded. But if you want to share it with people, know that you're putting it in a public space. You're hanging it up somewhere that somebody can find it. They may not, the people that connect with it may not show up right away. Now, that kind of parlays into something that I will offer too. So, we talked about this yesterday with the people that were on the YouTube. In a case, I always forget, I'm getting lazy because I'm assuming we all know each other here. So, I'm going to quickly correct that. On the off chance that you have no idea who I am, that you are scrolling on YouTube and my live is showing up right now, I want to help you with this. My name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach, and my coaching is called Destination Decluttered. I had been doing it for a while without TikTok. And then I was on TikTok for about 2.5 years, maybe 2 years. Shit, maybe three, I don't know. And now I am primarily showing up to do lives on YouTube. So I do lives almost every day. There's a schedule. You can find that out by signing up for the mailing list to destinationdecluttered.com/join. And for you and for all the new people, we talked about it yesterday. Next week, the first week of March, I am going to be experimenting with showing up at the same time on YouTube and on TikTok. Now, I'm going to do this because many more people see me on TikTok, and I want them to know that I still exist, but I want to get them also planted over here so they know that I'm over here on YouTube. Okay, so that's going to happen. It's not going to change anything about the schedule. I will primarily be fielding questions and comments and interacting with the good people here on YouTube to encourage people to show up on YouTube. But I'm going to experiment with that because even a lot of the people that found me on YouTube are still hanging out there. But I will not actively be adding any kind of created content to YouTube. But I will show up to be like, hey, I'm not dead yet, type of thing. Okay. Um, there we go. Yeah. So notice that things don't happen overnight. If you think of your life, if you think of what we do as organic gardening, how slow but how satisfying it can be. That you plant a seed. We were talking about it yesterday, planting croci perhaps, in the front yard. I did that back in September, October, and they won't show up. I'll check today. I will check today, and I will let you guys know when when they bloom. But I know they've been there, so I don't worry about them. I just know they're there doing their thing, kind of like your videos. Okay. 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 Oh, I love it. Erin, thank you for chiming in. Okay. Hey, Narelle, nice to see you. Welcome back. We get a friendly group of people here. You're going to fit right in. So, okay, Erin, so much stuff. Notice the drama and overwhelm in those three little words can feel like a big feeling. You know, the opposite of overwhelm is to practice the chunking it down. Even if your brain has been in the 50 plus year habit of easily going directly to overwhelm. Okay. So, what I would say is let's chunk it down. Okay. Chunk it down a little bit at a time. You already have. You outed yourself because you know how to do this. You outed yourself by saying, chunking it down in categories, chunking into categories, chunking categories. I want you to think of that. You have a chunk of categories called clothes. You have a chunk in a category called hair products. You have a chunk in a category called makeup. Etc. is when your brain has kind of run out, but it's like, I know there's a lot more, but it's primarily those three categories. Am I right? Okay. Then laundry. Okay. Laundry is a subset of clothing. All right. Plus, it always takes me a day to compress from work meetings and flights. Awesome. Did you give yourself a day to decompress? I know myself, you guys know I do a lot of traveling, and I have learned to pay attention or, suffer the consequences to see what my coaching schedule is like the day after my flight home. And if it starts early and I get home late, I reschedule and I allow myself that decompression day because I'm not going to show my best. But um, I want to offer this to you, Erin. And again, notice an offer. You can take it off of my little offering tray, or you can pick it up like a little appetizer or not, an hors d'oeuvre, as it were. Is how about while we're here, you just open up, even opening up the suitcase can start the process. Even just opening it up could be a chunk. How about picking one of those chunks, one of those categories? Now, the one that I usually go to first, I will be honest with you, is going to be something that I use on a daily basis. So maybe the makeup. Maybe all you do for today is you pull the makeup out of your suitcase and then you put that away. Now, my makeup and my toiletry bag are usually kind of go into the bathroom, so I tend them there. Maybe you can start with a small chunk and practice not trying to do all or nothing unless it feels easy. Okay. I hope that helps. Okay. You can show those suitcases who's boss, or you can open up and be like, hey, friends. Hey, remember that great time we had while we were traveling? Isn't it good to be home? Makeup. I bet you're glad to be back with your makeups. Hey, you know what, toiletries? You served me well, but you know what? I used a lot of that mouthwash. So I'm going to fill you up before I put you away at some point. Clothing. Oh my God, did we have fun doing that? How about this? I'm going to put you stinky things, socks and underpants. You're going right in the hamper. Clean clothes that I didn't wear, maybe I'll air you out. Maybe I'll throw you in just to get you done again. But yay, friends. Don't look at the stuff in your suitcase as your enemy that you're going to show who's boss. No, it's your friends that you were on vacation with, you were traveling with. How's that? You know? Okay. So just notice that. Please, let's not make any more enemies. Let's make friends with your stuff. Play with your toys. Okay? Hey, there we go. That one persona. I love that you followed the rules, as it were. She says, good morning. Glad I checked the speakeasy page on when you'd be live today. Yeah, so here I am live today. Where's my phone? Okay, I'll be here till 9 a.m. And the other thing, too, is, and I'll repeat this a couple of times, it won't affect you. Get in the habit. Please get in the habit of seeing me on YouTube. However, I will be doing a duo. I'll be doing a like two screens. I'll be like my own, what do they call that? Like a farm or something. Um, a streaming farm. Yeah, with like two things. Starting on TikTok next week. I'm going to be experimenting just for next week how it goes to see if we can't help more people. Where's my little ducks? Oh, I put them up there on a little shelf. To get over here to know that I exist and the help is there. Because I would help you guys. I help you guys all the time, but new people who may benefit from coaching also helps me pay the bills. I'm not going to lie. So So Kara is offering some interesting things. Okay, yes. Erin Collins, try the hey friends. Hey friends, just experiment with it. See if it feels any different than hey you guys, I'm the boss of you. And then they're going to be like, you're not the boss of me. Um, Kara is teaching some stuff that she's learning about being here on YouTube. I'm going to read it to you in just a second in case you're walking around your house puttering and decluttering. But I want to share with you, we are all learning what it's like to be here on YouTube. So Kara's saying, hey, so Kara is Mod Pugs and Kara is Kara. Mod Pugs I see with a little lowercase m in a purple thing. It looks like an M&M actually, but Kara actually has a picture of a like a garden planter in the face in the shape of a face with some greenery around it. So Kara says, "Hey, I just googled why Mod Pugs was coming up in the chat, and I saw that I needed to tell YouTube that her Kara account is her default." I love that. I recently kept on wondering why something was happening. Google can be your friend, and I was able to fix my calendar on my phone. So yay. Also, when uploading a YouTube video with music that might be trouble, you can click the music icon and turn down the music of the original video and add YouTube music. I think that worked for some. Awesome. Good to know. So thank you for finding out. Thank you. And here's this. Look at the framework behind what she did because this is powerful stuff. Kara noticed something that bugged her, a pebble in her shoe, if you will. She was bugged by the fact that she had the accounts. She had Mod Pugs and Kara, and probably Garden Girl. You've probably got three because the way things are. She didn't like how it was showing up. So what did she do? She decided to do something about what was bugging her. Much like a pebble in her shoe, she stopped moving forward. She sat down. She Googled, this is the problem I have. And Google and AI came back with an answer that allowed her to remove that from her shoe and then put the shoe back on. She learned something. That's why I am here. I am like the Google version of when you are bugged with clutter and you decide to stop and sit down and find out what this pebble is. I'm here to help you so that you can put your shoe back on without the pebble and move forward. Hope that helps. Okay. Narelle says, for the last 5 years, my husband has been working and living in another state due to work. So we have had to, you have had a second home. He has quit his job. So the last 2 weeks I've been here packing up. I tried to be minimal with the house that failed. Okay. Yeah. You know what? Narelle, you can decide to be more minimal in your other home. You can. While you're packing up your stuff, maybe the time to experiment with that, kind of jettisoning the easy stuff that you really know you don't need, but also being mindful when you're setting up your new home or when you're going into where you lived and that's how you decorated it X many years ago. You can change it. You can start to pare down even if you have a lot of stuff. But what would really be helpful for you and for me, but you mostly, only me so I can kind of diagnose the problem, would be getting curious as to how that failure showed up. How did it get there? Okay. Now, here's a really good lesson that Kara's learning. So, yay, learn a lesson along with Kara and myself. And the lesson, it took less than 2 minutes to solve that. Not all problems are easy, but many are. Does that not sound like it should have little quotation marks? Or maybe somebody's like, I'm going to embroider that on a pillow. Write that one down, people. Not all problems are that easy, but many are. Yes. That's why I have a very low tolerance for complaining after a certain point. When you complain about something, you are identifying a problem. If you identify something by a problem, much like the song says, if I got a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Actually, if I got a problem, yo, I'll solve it. The solve goes over here. A problem has a solution. So if you identify the problem, you're on your way to creating the solution to it. But if you keep on hanging out in the problem state, as they call it, and maybe it's a red state, I don't know. The problem state in your head, you're just sticking with the complaining and you're not stopping and saying something helpful like, you know what? Not all problems are difficult, easy to figure out, but many are. Why don't I try to figure it out? So notice when you are stuck in the mire of complaining, but you're not stopping and quieting yourself down enough for yourself to find an answer. Okay. Now, this is interesting. Garrett is offering with the difference between YouTube and TikTok videos. Bonus YouTube lives. I don't have to change my settings so my phone doesn't go to sleep. For whatever reason, TikTok goes to sleep, but YouTube doesn't. Awesome. All righty. Now, I love it. See, Becky Ridgway? It's the brain with the music's in it. If you got a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Something, something, something. DJ revolves it. Ice, ice baby. Who'd have thunk? Uh-huh. Yeah. All right. Norma is saying, I know my problem is hard to solve. So chunk it down. Chunk it down. I love it. That one persona is saying, working and thinking through redecorating our home after 10 years. I love that. Thanks to your advice, thinking of it as curating what comes in and asking myself what I want versus just buying new stuff. Notice that, just buying new stuff. Okay. And at the moment, her schedule, Beth Blinders. Hello, where's Cat Roby when we need her? Unloading and reloading the dishwasher. Once again, kind of tired of packing and unpacking. You're packing the dishwasher, you unpack the dishwasher. You pack a suitcase, you unpack a suitcase. You pack the washing machine, you unpack it. There's a lot of stuff that goes, it's part of the process. I love the idea, frankly, of touching base with your now 10 years older self. I have walked around my house a lot in the past many years because I work from home and have done for quite a number of years. And my husband and I have been in this house 20 years. So the things that we decorated early on reflected who we were 20 years ago. You guys, it blows my mind. We were barely married 3 years when we moved here. We are different people now. We like different things. We do different things. We are much the same, but kind of different. If I moved into this house today, I would decorate it somewhat differently than when I did 20 years ago. And in 20 years from now, I might decorate a place different again. But I enjoy how my house looks. I don't feel like decorating it again. I'm happy with how it looks. And it shows who I was and who I am. So I love that you're giving the opportunity to say, do I like how it is now 10 years in? And if not, I'm going to do something about it. Okay. Okay. So Norma, Narelle and Norma. Okay. I think my depression makes me buy even if I don't need it. Okay. I'm going to be honest with you. What do they say? I'm going to hold your hand while you do this. Everybody, if you are struggling mental health wise, and it's not just your regular kind of short-term down in the dumps, if you're down in the dumps and you're staying in the dumps, please get help for your mental health. It is the first stop on the road trip of decluttering, is to make sure you're feeling okay mentally and physically. And if you're not feeling mentally, physically okay, it's really hard to do a lot of stuff that comes after that. So please start there. Okay? Please. For your own sake and for the sake of those who love you. All right? Now, this is really interesting because Narelle is bringing up a good thing, which is shopping. Shopping. I hope all of you are being mindful about not shopping today, not spending your hard-earned money and time on giant corporations. I hope you are shopping in your house with stuff that you already bought. Now, this was really interesting to me because I am not showing off, but I examined my own shopping habits, and my husband and I don't frequently go out and shop. We will pick up stuff, but we are going to be fine. Even with the minimal amount of food we have in the house, We would be okay with shopping today, but shopping can become a habit. As Norma says, my depression made me buy stuff even if I didn't need it. That act of shopping fed something in you that made you feel temporarily better. But I highly encourage you all to be mindful of when your habitual shopping might want to rear its head today, and to put your traffic cop hand out. I'm like, what's this? Traffic cop hand out and say, no, there's nothing that I desperately need today. I am okay with what I have. Okay. So trust that you are okay with what you have. If anything, one of the things that's causing you angst in your pants is having too much of some things. Not just not enough, the opposite, too much. Now, this is going to be different for everybody. Narelle says part of the issue here, we only have a small, expensive supermarket. Nearest stores are 5 hours drive away. So we would tend to stock up on items when we went. But notice this too. I get that. I don't want to spend a lot here, so I'm going to stock up at the cheap place. Notice the frequency with which you use the stuff that you've stocked up on. This is a business. Think of your store, think of your house as like a grocery store, and adjusting your inventory levels so you are rotating for freshness, as the boxes at the grocery store say. Sometimes we think we use something more quickly than we do, and then we pile up on it. I will admit two things that I know that I have currently kind of too much on for the frequency with which we buy it. One is packets of salmon. You know, salmon, like kind of like tuna fish. We have this really cool independent grocery store that we go to, and I want to, like, sometimes, and I want to support them. So when I go there, I'm like, I don't know, I guess I could buy some of this. My God, I'm just like my great aunt who used to have cans of tuna fish underneath the stairs going upstairs to her apartment. Aga, I know what you were talking about. So now I have three or four. They started to pile up. So yesterday I said, I am going to eat some of that salmon. The other thing I have is when I went to Costco with my mother, because my mother has a Costco membership, and I said, "Hey, can you buy some things for me? Because I don't have a Costco membership because it's just my husband and me." And she bought me one of those giant things, jugs of like Dawn dishwashing liquid. We already had one from before, but I said, "Oh, well, you know what? We'll use that." Well, we didn't realize how infrequently we use it, because again, it's just the two of us. And so notice that the things that you thought you were going to use, you haven't used yet, because the pace with which you use things, the organic pace with which you use them, is slower than you thought you would need it for. Okay? Yeah. And notice the fear of not having something. Because you can't get things easily, you hang on to everything just in case and accept anything offer. Yeah, this is what we call in the biz, Narelle, that kind of coming from a place of lack. Now, I rarely like to talk in life coachy terms because some of them make me want to flip the bird to them. But that one is a really helpful one, because when you feel like you don't have enough, that is feeling like you are lacking in something. And you can't even see it here. I'm putting my hand down here when I talk about lack. It's like lack, and then you've got too much. Here, feeling like lack is like not is like your empty stomach. My stomach is empty. Too much is feeling in over your head and overwhelmed and overstuffed and, oh my gosh, I've eaten so much. Blur. What we want is that just right feeling. This is going to need some recalibration. And feeling lack is not just a numbers game. It's kind of like severance. It's numbers and how those numbers make you feel and how those numbers make you act. Okay? Yeah, so notice that. There we go. Erin says, better than not shopping today. I'm going to do the opposite of shopping. I'm going to do some corporate and online returns today. Ha! Ha! I love it. You know, Garrett is not shopping today. I even prepaid my vet yesterday, so I didn't need to use my debit card today. Sent reminders to my family and friends. And seriously, you guys, I think personally, I think this is a wonderful thing that should become a habit. Is Becoming aware of your shopping, your automatic shopping habits, and just checking yourself before you're wrecking yourself. Okay. Do I need to shop today? Could I make it? They used to do it in World War II, and we're kind of in one of those situations nowadays. Meatless Monday, scrap drive Tuesday, you know, practicing using what you have, practicing scheduling things where you can do them. They used to have, remember when they had even and odd days to get gas in your car back in the 70s? I wasn't driving in the 70s, but I was walking to my elementary school. And to this day, I can remember the lines going down to Tommy Arbuckle's Gulf. So notice these things that you can do to remind yourself that you have the power. I got the power. You can do something with the power you have and the power of the pocketbook. Pocketbook, totally Bostonian. The power in your pocketbook, the power in your pocket, the power you have with the money you have and the time you have and the attention you have. Those are all tools you have. You can wield them to make a better world. All right. One persona used to do in the past, used to do retail therapy as a treatment in the form of medication and treatment in the form of medication and therapy. Yay. Has helped me realize what I was doing. Yeah. Oh, funny. Narelle says, you do know that the rest of the world just calls it tuna? Sorry, I don't get it. We have tuna and we have salmon. You know, is it sorry, Charlie? Only good tasting tuna gets to be star kissed. Go figure. uh, I love it. LO has set reminders for every third Sunday to remove 10 things out of your closet. I love that. Setting a reminder. Speaking of a reminder, two things. I've got a couple of fun things I want to share. So, first of all, yes, please go shopping in your own home today. Don't just not shop outside, but remind yourself of the abundance that you have within your four walls. Open up your cupboards that you have your food in. If you need to stand on a chair to go to that top shelf to see what's up there, do it. Open up every cupboard. Remind yourself of your abundance. As you do that, you might realize there's some food you haven't eaten in a while. Pull it out and check the label. Check the expiration date. If it's expired, throw it away. That is decluttering. If it is expiring within the next 6 months and you're pretty sure you're not going to eat those garbanzo beans, put them in a box to give to your local food pantry. If you know you bought stuff, like I honestly might throw a couple of those packets of salmon into a bag for our local food pantry because I may not eat them with the frequency that we have them. I will check the expiration date. Maybe a wonderful thing you could do today instead of going to the grocery store is to play grocery store like a little kid. I'm going to play stock boy or stalker, not stalker, Stalker, but stock person. I'm going to go and I'm going to categorize my canned goods. I'm going to front and face them. I'm going to put them together. I'm going to notice the quantity we have and I'm going to check for freshness. Play grocery store today in your kitchen. I will do that. I will let you know how it goes. I'm going to say, play grocery store. All right. Have fun with this. Don't make it feel like an arduous, oh, I'm denying myself shopping. Have fun with it. You know, have fun. Look around your house, kind of like Kelly and Erin are doing. Is there something you bought corporately that you haven't worn yet? Okay. You haven't worn yet. Even if you don't have the receipt, you can bring it back for a credit for future use. What is something that still has the tags on it that you maybe still have the receipt that you could actually do the anti shopping, which is walking right into Target, going to the return your stuff, and then walk right the hell out? Doesn't that feel good? Huh? There we go. We are all in this together. And I am telling you, this is why I feel like I'm in the right place at the right time because I really want to remind you and me and all of us, and maybe the people on TikTok next week, we have power that we are currently not wielding. It is dusty. It is up on a shelf that we forgot we had. But when we stand up on that kitchen chair and we open up the cupboard and we look, we're like, oh my God, there's my magic powers. I have the power to stop doing something that doesn't give me the result I want and start doing something that gives me the result I want. And this power is scalable from my kitchen to the White House and beyond. That I can stop giving my money to things I don't believe in. I can start giving my money to things I believe in. My husband and I have started, I will be honest with you, we have started to donate more money to causes that that are important to us now more than ever, especially with all this Doge bullshit. Now, I am telling you too, $5 a day, excuse me, $5 a day would be a lot. $5 a month on a recurring payment to something makes sure that that can be a thing. You can spend $20 a month, 4 places, $5 a month, and put it on auto. You could donate to a homeless shelter. You could donate to Planned Parenthood. You could donate to your local uh, um, food pantry. You could donate to the ACLU. You could donate to something that means something to you. You could use the money you're not spending on corporations, and you could redirect that money to something you care about. Okay. Now, here's a good thing to notice. Notice Cheryl Siegel is noticing. We are shopping our freezer for a month because we kind of overbought food lately. So did we. We are eating. I told and luckily my husband is amenable to this. So it's not kind of an argument. It's a reluctant, like, oh, we bought it, we got to use it. But I noticed we are really good when we travel. We are really good at keeping the cupboard, the fridge bare because we don't, now that neither of us want to come home to rotting food. However, the freezer has started to get piled up. So I said, this week, you and I are eating stuff just out of the freezer, and we're starting to knock down the amount of stuff we have. I love it. Okay. There we go. Kelly Smith, you're right. I was going to go to Costco today to get a membership, but I'm going to stop that and I'm going to wait. I'm not saying no forever. I'm just saying no. I'm not saying no. I'm saying not now. But I'll wait till next week so that I'm not tempted to shop. And notice, tempted by the fruit of another. You're going to be tempted. We can be tempted. Oh, just come in. Why do you think Target has that $1 to $5 section? It gets you there. And as soon as you put something in there, you have connected yourself to the checkout line that's allegedly right next door. But typically you walk through the whole store, kind of like IKEA going you through the maze, trying to make you hit all those places, right? There we go. Lori says animal shelters need the help. Love that. Yeah. I love this. Kelly Smith is going to check all my subscriptions and cancel what I don't need. Okay? Yeah. You've got the power. Guh, 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 guh. Right? You have power. Use it wisely. Don't just be flailing around a fucking phallic chainsaw. No. We all have power that people don't even know we have, but we will cut a bitch at a moment's notice if they are harming people that do not deserve harm. Okay? I feel like we're the Jets and the Sharks, right? Okay. Oh, Kelly Smith. Kelly Smith is offering, I work with rescues, animals in North Carolina, and our shelter closed because of a mystery illness. Fuh. Now we have no place to house our strays. Yeah. Oh, hon. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for doing that. All right. And hopefully people in your state will take care of the strays. Hopefully they will spay and neuter their pets, like Betty White would often say. Was she married to Alan Ludden? Or were they just on Password together? I can't remember. But I digress. Oh my goodness, you guys, it's 8:44. Yes, good. I got my clocks are clocks. Clocks, Johnny. Here's a fun thing. Anytime I hear my Boston accent come out, I say Johnny because that was my dad's name was John. John. And you can hear it from them, right? And here's a funny thing. I will admit, I was on Boston Talk last night and not TALK, but on TikTok. And I love the scrappy, not taking any prisoners, don't F with us attitude that I'm getting from my home state of Massachusetts. I know where I got it. I am proud to be a masshole who lives in PA, and I'm ready to go up there and, pull off my earrings and roll up my sleeves and get into it with people. Dude, we will make fun of people like you wouldn't believe, but if somebody else tries to do it, we will defend them like it's just how we're wired. Okay? And that's how I am. So, I am here to show you how to do that. Now, um there we go, Lynn Patrick. I love myself a good to-do list. And you know what's wonderful about a to-do list? It turns into a ta-da list when you've done it. It's a list of things you've done. It's the same thing, but if you do the thing, it's in the past tense. So Lynn says, I've recently started a to-do list that I add to regularly, and I've committed myself to accomplish at least one, but aim for two, and it is helping. Yes. Oh, yeah, you know what? We can learn those to use those chainsaws. I'm just talking about a certain small penised man who has all the money in the world and is still in his soul so unhappy. He's going to die unhappy, and a lot of us are going to suffer for it. Let me offer this to you, okay? Lynn Patrick, with your lists of things to do, please make sure you are also delighting in crossing a line through the stuff you have done. Celebrate, dance to the music, okay? Celebrate good times, come on. Celebrate the stuff you have done, okay? Celebrate the stuff you have done. And here's another thing, and I used to have a whole thing about this. Notice when you said, I'm adding one thing. One. One is the loneliest moment you ever heard. No, one is the power of the individual. Notice how the power of the individual can be minimized by trying to eliminate that and saying the individual doesn't matter. Notice I am team penny like you wouldn't believe, because pennies represent a unit of one. A unit of one is you and me. 10 pennies makes a dime. 25 pennies makes a quarter. 100 pennies makes a dollar, and it scales up. The power of the individual. You and I are pennies. Let's not forget that incremental, powerful power that the individual has. So when they're trying to get rid of the penny, notice they're also trying to eliminate the power of the collection. Think of that. If I had a bag of 100 pennies and you had a bag of 100 pennies, we could probably swing around and bop somebody on the head, you know? So please do not underestimate your power. You have it. And let's use it for good and not evil. Okay? That's why I'm here. I will be here reminding you on a daily basis until I can't be here no more, because we are in it for the long haul. This is serious stuff. This is serious stuff, and we're gonna not hide under our covers, though sometimes we might want to, and sometimes we do for longer than we might want to. But we are here for the long term doing good stuff. And when you remind yourself of power, you use it. And when you use it like a muscle, it gets stronger. And you can rely on it so that you can do the things you ain't never done before. Okay? I'm going to shift gears here for a minute because my hand just landed on something that I promised I would show you guys that I discovered while I was decluttering. Okay, so here's a fun thing. Does anybody know what this is? Okay, so pretty easy. This is an ice scraper, right? But here's a wicked fun thing. I thrifted this years ago because I thought it was hysterical. Because this isn't just I'm going to have to look it up online. It says on it, I think you can read it. It says GM and it says Frigidaire. So to me, you know what this is? This is for when you had to like get the ice out of your um, freezer, right? Or maybe you got it when you bought your GM car, or maybe you got it from when you got your fancy Frigidaire. Um, what do you call it? Refrigerator. Now, I have had this for years. I saw it in a thrift store. I thought it was cool. I had it for years, and it's been hanging around in a box. And then I had it in our freezer for a while as just a giggle. But then as we were cleaning out and eating the things that have been stored in the freezer, I came across this and I said, you know what? So I'm going to Google this. I'm going to find out where it came from. I'm going to have some fun with it. And then you know what I'm going to do? Woo! I'm going to throw it back into the pond so somebody else can find it. I'm going to donate it. Actually, I'm going to donate it. My sister sells vintage stuff and old things up in Massachusetts. So when I go up there, I'm going to see her next week. I'm going to put this in a box to give to her so she can sell it in her little spot, in her little place. Right. But isn't this silly? Who knows what random stuff you're going to find in your own house? Now, do I remember specifically where I got it? No, but I used to go thrifting a lot. But isn't that hysterical? It's like, oh, I got to defrost the freezer. Crazy. I love it. Then one persona is giving us an update. The dishwasher is going. I love it. Um, hey, Leslie, joining from the airport. Nice to see you. Safe travels. Safe travels. I hope you're going someplace fun. I hope you're going someplace fun. Speaking of fun, and speaking of the fact that today's Friday, this is another thing too. So, a couple of things I wanted to mention. Tomorrow is March 1st. You know what I just did? Kim K, I will get the info from you. I know it's around, it's called like, maybe I should know this, but I haven't been to it yet. I'm pretty sure it's in the Stoughton area. And I think it might be called like Under the Bed Vintage, something like that. Google that, see if it helps. If not, I'll get the more info and I'll tell you next week when I do one of my TikTok lives or my YouTube lives. But tomorrow is Saturday, March 1st. So you know what I'm going from? I'm going from doing my messy, getting my habit tracker, and I have already printed out a new one for the beginning of the month. Join along with me. You have access to that, and it's on the Speakeasy page. Okay, you can download that anytime you want. The other thing is tomorrow at noontime and Sunday at noontime Eastern. I'm an East Coast gal. I only speak in East Coast times. You'll have to do the math for yourself because I'm afraid of screwing it up. Noon Eastern till 1:30 Eastern tomorrow, Saturday, March 1st, and Sunday, March 2nd. This weekend is the first of this month's decluttering parties. You can get your tickets to the parties on the Speakeasy page. There's a link to go through. There are 4 others. There are 6 all total in March. And talk about donating to causes that you care about and putting your money where your mouth is half of the proceeds for these decluttering parties goes to a homeless shelter for women in my town here in Pennsylvania. Because I think it's important to give globally. I donated money to Ukraine this week and also locally to help the people in need near you. So, if you are struggling, if you've got a project that you're dragging your feet on, you're dragging your heels, as they say, I'm thinking it might be tax paperwork for a lot of people. Okay. But if you have a decluttering project that you keep on telling yourself, I got to do that, I got to do that, I got to do that, but your hands are not moving and doing it, the camaraderie and the collaborative spirit and the encouragement and the focus of a short amount of time that happens with one of these decluttering parties could really be the game changer in you getting started on something you've been dragging your feet on. So I highly suggest, and I look forward to you showing up and being one of these party people. Okay. They're wicked fun. You get to know people. It reminds you you're not alone with your struggles. And it also reminds you of your power, that you can show up and you can do something about what is nagging at you. Okay. So Um, there we go. I love it. Shannon in retrograde. See what a hive mind we have. And Shannon, you're probably not even in Massachusetts, but the power of the internet. Shannon just uh yeah, Shannon just said under the bed vintage in Stoughton. See, I was pretty good. That's right. Lindelof Avenue. Right? Yeah. Yes, Kelly Smith. You can totally, you're not sure which day you can attend, you can pay for one and totally switch the day. Yeah. Yeah, you can totally. That's why it's great that I'm a human and a lot of the things I do are not kind of automated. So sure, pick one. Decide which one. I will just need to make sure I get you on the right list. Okay? There we go. Yeah, and Kim K, here's a fun thing, everybody. My sister, her name is Pam. Her vintage spot there. She used to have a shop. It's called Mad Mama Vintage. Now, while she is mad, it's because my niece's name is Madeline, so she's been Mad Mama. So if you go to Mad Mama Vintage and you'll see this on her shelves, you'll know that Auntie Beth has been to town. Okay, there we go. So okay, you guys, we get about 5 minutes, and then I'm hopping on coaching, and then we've got somebody here. We're not going to spend money today, but we've got somebody who's coming into our house to help us what has been bugging us for the last 20 years, which is getting a quote to get some work done in the basement. So I offer to you, what are you going to do today? What's one thing, just one thing you could do today that you could feel proud of yourself when you go to bed at night? What's one thing? You don't have to share it with me, but please share it with yourself by writing it down. Maybe it's, speaking of writing things down, maybe it's playing grocery store. Take the time instead of going to the market basket or the Acme or the Wegmans or wherever you would normally grocery shop. Open up your cupboards, open up your fridge, not all at the same time. Open up one at a time, go shelf to shelf. And maybe what you could do is realize the abundance you have and donate stuff to a local food pantry. What a wonderful way to remind yourself that you don't have lack in certain areas, you have abundance in certain areas. But where you may have lack is that feeling. You don't realize how much you have because you're not checking yourself for sweatpants. You're not you're not checking, even though you may feel lacking, you may have abundance and you're just in the habit of thinking I don't have enough. Okay? So notice that. You could play grocery store. You could play, you know, Pier 1 and go through your cupboards and front and face your stemware, and you could make sure that all your like items are together with your dishes. You could play clothing store and go shop through your closet and say, what are some things that I would not buy this if I was at a clothing store? And you pull those out and maybe you do some donating. That's the opposite of accumulating, is give it away, give it away, give it away now. Or make some returns to those corporate places so they feel extra losses today. Play life in your house. You live in your house. Okay? So have some fun pretending you're outside, but living on the inside and doing those things. Okay? Hey, this is really fun. Garrett has checked in and said, thank you for keeping me company. Garrett says, kitchen clean and puppy bathed. Oh, puppy bathed. Thank you all for keeping me company while I got those tasks done. Yeah. Notice that if company makes it easier for you to do things, that company is available. I do a YouTube live pretty much every day. And especially this weekend, I am doing, like, usually on the weekends, I don't do them, except I occasionally will pop up. There is community for you when you need it. All you need to do is go to the speakeasy page and look at the schedule and schedule the things you don't particularly want to do for this time. Notice that will help you get it done, and find out what helps you get things done and do those things that make it easier. Now, I get a sign off now because I have to shift gears, as it were, to go into coaching and then meeting with the guy for the basement, the cellar, that, as we would say, up in Massachusetts. Um, Erin, I hope you got some unpacking done. I hope you got to play with the stuff in your suitcase. Everybody, let's have some fun. Okay? Just have some fun while you're getting stuff done today. Okay? I think that sounds like a good sign off little slogany thing. I'm going to end the stream now. I look forward to seeing many of you tomorrow at the party. You can sign up as late as you want. All right? And I look forward to seeing you. And if you can't make it, we've got more. And I've got some lives next week until I'm traveling. All right? We're going to have some fun. We're going to get done. Remind yourself you've got the power. All right?